Gaza, the unsolvable conflict, a radical proposal for peace. Good evening. Tonight, we turn to one of the most difficult and controversial subjects in the Middle East, the future of Gaza and the ongoing Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Over the years, countless attempts have been made to find peace, but many argue that these efforts have failed to address the core issue, an ideology rooted not just in politics, but in religious extremism. Let's look at the reality on the ground. Since Israel's withdrawal from Gaza in 2005, the hope was that the people of Gaza would embrace peaceful self-governance. Instead, Gaza fell under the control of Hamas and Islamic Jihad, groups whose ideology is based on jihad, or holy war, and a refusal to accept the existence of Israel. This is not simply a political dispute, but a struggle fueled by religious conviction, passed down through education, media, and daily life. Some might compare Gaza to Germany or Japan after World War II, where societies managed to move on from destructive ideologies. But in Gaza, the situation is different. Germany and Japan's extremism was political, not religious, and when those systems were defeated, their people could move forward. In Gaza, jihad as a religious obligation is deeply ingrained and has proved resistant to change, regardless of outside efforts or incentives. It is also important to acknowledge that not all Muslims support this ideology. However, in Gaza, the dominant view remains one of uncompromising resistance, making peaceful coexistence appear impossible. Even those who might wish for peace face enormous pressure, and often violence, from the prevailing leadership. After decades of war, rocket fire, and failed peace negotiations, the question becomes, what can actually end the cycle of violence? Here, we present a controversial but increasingly discussed idea that the only realistic and humane solution may be the relocation of Gaza's population. This proposal is not about collective punishment or hatred, but about protecting lives on both sides. People who reject extremist ideology would be given opportunities to settle in other cities in the region or abroad, where they can start anew without fear or coercion. History has seen the movement of millions of refugees, such as the 3 million Syrians who were resettled across multiple countries in the past decade. While relocating 2 million Gazans would be a massive challenge, international cooperation and support could make it possible. Options might include existing cities elsewhere, or even the development of a new urban area, perhaps in the Sinai Peninsula, with Israeli and Egyptian cooperation. In conclusion, this viewpoint argues that as long as the ideology of jihad as holy war remains entrenched in Gaza, no real peace is possible. Continuing the status quo only means more suffering for Israelis and Palestinians alike. As painful and difficult as it is, transferring the population and allowing Gaza to cease to exist as a militant stronghold may be the only way to break the cycle, making this, in the eyes of some, the most humane solution to one of the world's most intractable conflicts. Thank you for joining us for this in-depth report.